Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I'm sure you just learned a little bit about me, but I'm Dimitri. I previously built Bundle, which was featured on ABC Shark Tank, and Hydrant, which was also featured on Shark Tank and acquired in December of 2023. Um, I want to tell you about a problem that I ran into. A couple of years ago, I ran into a lot of my friends and family going through divorce. And this wouldn't normally spark concern. I started having conversations with them and learned that they had a lot of dissonance around money and just lifestyles and changes on how they were going to do money together in the future. Throughout that process, I learned that joint money is completely broken. Our tools, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, the old school joint bank account. All they do is create bottlenecks. They create disagreements for this new generation of consumers who have a desire to keep their money separate. So throughout that, we built Peas. So Peas is an AI that acts as a horizontal banking layer, so couples can get the power of a joint bank account without actually having one. So couples come to us, they can split expenses like rent together. They can analyze their spending, ask anything about their money to our AI, all while keeping their respective financial identities and keeping their same banks. The way this works, we do this in 3 steps. So a couple comes to us. Let's say couple one has Chase, couple two has Bank of America. They bring their own bank and they join a flexible structure called a pod. So this pod, they can leave at any time. All of their existing settings go with them. And they're able to set spending rules and visibility rules so that their partner can either see or not see certain portions of their money. Step two, our AI learns their money. So Penelope is extremely intuitive. Think, Mint and Chat GPT all in one. She will help the couple understand what their spending habits look like, what their income looks like. They can group chat and ask any question about their money, plan for a vacation, do all sorts of things that provide financial continuity and information to the couple. And step three, they get to enjoy the rest of our features. So they can split, they can budget, and they can chat. So as I mentioned before, they've got transparency rules where they can choose to either hide certain transactions or obfuscate certain bank accounts. They'll be able to split bills, whether that's one time or on a recurring basis, month over month or week over week. And finally, they get to group chat with Penelope and learn about their money. So we've got some incredible features in one cohesive feature set. Little quick hits about us. Our pricing model is really simple. We charge $10 a month or $70 for the whole year. We are launching a couples charge card at the end of the year where we'll make 1.75% interchange on every transaction that goes on the card. Additionally, our market is absolutely massive. If we were to capture all of the uncaptured joint banking in the United States, is over $500 billion worth of opportunity. And we're about to get to the traction slide, but we do have a pretty large wait list, which gives us about $18 million in immediate opportunity that we can convert and capture. As far as traction, we acquired a 14,000 person wait list before we've even launched. This has been incredible. We've been able to learn exactly, what the market needs, what type of features our users are interested in, and it's really kind of informed what our go-to-market looks like. When it comes to go-to-market in general, we've got our wait list. Our next 100,000 users are going to come from a channel we unlocked with financial institutions and middle market banks. And we've also secured and started exploring partnerships with all sorts of people who are providing value to what we call joint money journeys, giving us almost 5 million users that we can capture over the next year. A little bit about what we're building in the future. So we're going to be introducing credit union. Obviously, we're introducing splits and financial services once we launch. We learned throughout our process and understanding what our users want and what our users need that there are more people on these joint money journeys. So we've got roommates and families, as you see here, co-parents, families, all people who do money together in a significant way that we can provide value to. Then we're going to start tackling some of the more interesting parts of financial services like investments and managing liabilities like debt. Super excited about our future here. One thing to say, we've raised $800,000 to date. We're raising another $2 million to achieve some pretty strong milestones by Q2 of next year. You can see that here. We're backed by some incredible investors. We've got Antler, Techstars, Girton Ventures, Visa execs, MasterCard execs, and a handful of strategic founders as well. To tell you a little bit about our wonderful team, we've got myself, we've got Max, who heads up our product, comes from Capital One and Wells Fargo. We've got Arthur, Morgan, and Nick. Morgan comes from Credit Karma. Nick has been an entrepreneur for dozens of years. Arthur has been an entrepreneur for about 5 years as well, so they came on board. Jace is coming from Google and Citadel. He heads up our AI and machine learning. Ben Still actually is in a new position. He is our acting CTO. Incredible engineering leader and great mind for what we're building. And then we've got Xavier leading us up on the front end. Lastly, we've got our team of advisors. We've got Carlos, who comes from MasterCard and Citibank, Scott Eddington, who comes from Visa, William, who comes from the People's Group, and Danielle Hill, who comes from Remitly. And I want to just say that these advisors have been instrumental and incredible to helping me build this company and provide a ton of value as we continue to scale and grow.
All right. Who are you presenting this content to? What's your intended target for this presentation?
Yeah, good question. So this is kind of a combination of our circulating pitch deck. So this is the deck that we send out to VCs who reach out to me or VCs I schedule calls with who are interested in what we're doing. So want to learn a little bit more, learn a little bit about how we think, what our market looks like, basically just an introduction to what Peas is.
Understood. Are you assuming the VC is financially astute or generic VC or fintech VC, or what type of VC are you thinking about?
Yeah, really good question. So I typically do some heavy vetting on the VCs and investors that I talk to. This being my third company, it's not my first rodeo. So
for this presentation, who are you, I want to know who you're delivering this to so I can tackle it from that angle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so financial services, VCs, and people who are interested in consumer technology. No one who's generalist or agnostic.
So the first piece of information is you started with divorce, and that's a painful topic. You pushed me back in the side of the room like, I don't want to talk about that. I've gone through one, and immediately you put emotions and feelings of divorce. Is this what I want to listen to today? So you may want to consider an angle where you're not starting with one of the most painful things, most stressful things in a human life.
Okay.
Loss of a job, divorce, and movement are the top three. Divorce is the first one. So think of a way to engage me as an investor. Bring me in, not push me back.
Interesting. Okay.
From that point on, I'm just thinking about the negativity of a relationship, and you're trying to solve for the positivity of a relationship.
Sure.
And from that point on, I'm thinking about the audience who's going to be engaged in this, and it's truly not that audience. You're looking for people who want to come together and how you make it work, not the people who are splitting together and how do you manage against that. Does that help?
Yeah, so that's actually really interesting feedback. I've gotten mixed feedback. So some people think, talking about the divorce and some of the more painful parts of money management in a relationship is kind of like a strong attention getter. And then some people
just positive, make it positive, not negative. Instead of people are getting divorced to avoid conflict, to avoid potentially divorce, because you want the investor to bite in. Now, so that's one piece. Just from an overall perspective, you do a lot.
Okay.
Practice on getting rid of that.
Okay.
Yeah, you say so because that gets in the flow of what you're doing. The rest of the delivery is great. Well done. Perfect. This is your third company, potentially third exit. So there's very little coaching we can do that adds value there.
Sure. Yeah.
Being astute in the fintech, and I understand what you're working on. Are you a seed or are you pre-A or are you an A company right now?
Great question. We are currently raising our seed round. So we closed our pre-seed and we're raising our seed.
Set the tone up front so I know where you're sitting. I know which ballpark I need to go to work with you. And that would help me understand your traction, relative importance of what you're doing, and where you are on your journey. Once I read your slides and I saw it, I knew you're on seed or pre-seed, so congratulations, but help the investors get in there quickly.
Okay.
If we're going through your problem statement, for me, I'm an engineer. I like numbers.
Sure.
It's a high level, okay, but it didn't really take me where you wanted me to go, which is what are we solving for? Are we solving for
Mm.
breakups? Are we solving for savings? Are we solving for cost? I didn't quite understand that, but I do understand the problem fundamentally.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what are you solving for?
Yeah, so we learned that when, particularly for couples who we're targeting right now, once they get into an initial relationship, they run into two inflection points. So they have visibility concerns. So, how much money do you make? Are you paying for Netflix and I'm paying for Netflix? Like, what does your money look like? The second inflection point is mobility. So now that we understand what our money looks like, how are we going to remit that money to do bills and buy groceries and do life together? So those are the two pain points that we're solving currently for kind of initial early couples.
So subscribers is your solution target for relationship management, for stress management, for clarity management. There isn't a bottom line cost reduction or anything like that at this point, right?
So that's actually a really interesting question. So in high density areas, so think, New York, California, some of the cities, people are Venmoing each other 30 or 40 times a month and paying the fees that come with that. So we do provide a really, really strong reduction on just fees that you're paying for financial services apps. I don't have like concrete numbers that I can share with you. I just know that we're well cheaper because we don't, once you pay for the subscription, moving money within P's is basically free.
Well,
Um,
what's please finish. Yes.
yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, I want to hear your thought. You're giving me some good insight.
What's an analogy of an app that is in the space that you're playing in that has demonstrated success that can tell me as an investor, this could be similar to X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, so it's actually really similar to an app called Clio. So Clio is a UK-based company who's targeting Gen Z with an AI and offering financial services, particularly to Gen Z with that AI. They've
Yeah.
raised, I think, $160 million. They've got 2 million actives. They're fairly big. We're probably the closest to them just from an overall strategy and structure perspective.
They want us to finish up, so I would suggest including that somewhere, giving me a path
Mm.
to see where you're going with. Your financials are fine. I just didn't get the sense of what's the value of your client per year. I know it says $70 a year, but it has to be more than that.
Sure.
The other piece is the go-to-market. A good slide, but not enough to get me to where you want me to go.
Okay.
Yeah, just take me to the first stop. Where do you want me to go first? Boom, the partnerships that engage in certain, because I want to know how your CAC is going to be lower and lower and lower, and how you're going to integrate
Mm.
yourself in the overall picture. With respect to the funding, no comment on that. This is not the forum for it. The last piece is, what's your exits? Where are you going to head? You've had one or two exits, so you should know the way out. What does that look like?
Yeah, so I can't really speak on who, but we have a lot of banks and other institutions tracking us right now. I think there's only two paths for us. I think we take over the entire kind of joint banking space, similar to companies like Splitwise and Venmo and Cash App, or we get exited to a financial institution who's looking to leverage our AI to target couples and people on joint money journeys.
So they're going to buy you for market, not for the service you offer. Is that what you're saying?
I think they'll buy us for technology and they'll buy us for reach. I don't think they'll buy us for the service because multiplayer banking can be done in multiple ways across multiple different types of experiences. I think they'll buy us for our data that we collect with Penelope and the ability to engage with users in a way that most people can't do really, really well. We've done really well at conversational engineering. So.
So if I'm to invest in you, then you would be targeting that value, which is the engagement, the size, the number of users, etc. And the revenue would be not secondary, but not the way you want to get to an exit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so and I say this because one of our go-to-market channels, uh, all of the users that will come to us are going to come to us basically for free or up to 11 cents per. We will make a ton of money on them if they use the platform. We've done just some low averages on, hey, if 3% of our user base converts and 1% of them use financial services, we make XYZ money, which has a really, really strong growth trajectory. But the growth is going to be one of our big plays for sure.
Any questions for me?
No, you provided some wonderful insight. Maybe not. I know we have to wrap up. Maybe not for now, but would love to maybe ask some questions offline.
No worries. Any insights that you use generates revenue, I get 10%.
Nice.
Take care, Dimitri.
Cool. Cheers. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
You bet. Let's do it. Let's take over. We are founders and investors. We don't wait. We just do it.
Let's go.
All right, man. Oh, there we go.
Awesome. So, hi everyone. I'm here to present you to introduce you to Pillbot. So, I'm sure you are all aware of the endoscopy process, which is super painful, super expensive, really invasive, have a lot of risk, create a lot of waste. It's really inefficient. Our solution, called Pillbot, here, and you can see the pill here, is basically a tiny robot that you swallow, go inside your stomach, and have a quick tour of the stomach to replace the basic endoscopy. The procedure is pretty simple. You fast for a couple hours, you drink 2 big glasses of water, you swallow Pillbot, and then you just wait. You're in a phone call with your GI doctor while he's maneuvering Pillbot inside your stomach to see if there is any disease. Here you can see a tiny video from our trial that we are performing right now. Oh, sorry. Here, so how does Pillbot compare to the market? So Pillbot is, you can take it without sedation. It's telemedicine enabled. It's remote controlled and wireless. And it creates a lot of value because it's cost right now only $25 to make, and we can sell it for up to $500, and we're going to see it just after. Here you can see the market entry timeline starting from right now with the trial. Next year is going to be our FDA clearance, and we hope to be in the market by early 2026. So this is our financial projection. Here you can see that between all the R&D materials, etc., it costs about $100 per unit at scale. And we hope to sell it about $500. So the profit per Pillbot is about $400. And if we reach at least 2% of the GI market in the US, we can reach in 2026 23 million, and it grow exponentially as much as we are penetrating the US market. What's really important for us is also how the physician are going to get paid. As you can see here, the physician fee is way higher for every murdered capsule. So they earn about 3 times what they're doing with the traditional endoscopy, and it's way easier for them. And for Medicare fee, it is the exact same thing. So no one is losing money. We're just optimizing the system. We have a lot of patents all over the world. We have a newly granted patent about a couple days ago. We're super excited about it. We have a lot of new technology, basically bringing all the cell phone industry into a tiny robot that we can swallow. That is our main innovation. We have the team here. Tori Smith, the CEO, he's currently pitching at another event, the MDO magazine. He's a like crazy medtech device guy and aerospace guy. We have Alex Lupke, our chairman and CTO, who is also crazy in aerospace. He was at Google X at different C-level. Vivek Kumbari, who is our help in the GI world, because he's the head of Mayo Clinic for the GI department. And we have Chris and Shelly, the business development team. So this is our vision. Pillbot is amazing, and it's gonna allow us to see really clearly the stomach really easily. But what comes next? We would like to go to pill surgeon, which is trademarked, where it's basically an eye with some tool to actually do some procedure inside the stomach. And later, of course, we're going to become a data services, because gathering all this kind of data is it's a first kind of industry. And our goal is to go all over the body, inside the brain, and to basically fix your body from the inside with tiny robots. Yes, on TED, it was in April. There is Vivek Kumbhari and Alex Lupke presenting Pillbot. Thank you very much for your time. We're raising Series A right now, and we raised about 7 million so far. If you have any question, feel free to reach me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Quentin. That was very insightful. Just a disclaimer, I've been tracking your company for at least 6 years now.
Okay.
I met Tori when it was that big. It was quite big. It was the size of a fist, and now it's very, very, very impressive to see where it's going. So since this is a teardown, I'm gonna tear down.
Easy.
It didn't work for me. It didn't flow. It could have flown substantially better. You got one of the most exciting things the venture capital space can see for the next many, many years. Forget AI, forget blockchain, putting little tiny robots in human bodies to do anything from watch to observe to operate and potentially more. And this could have been profoundly attractive at the beginning of it. Had I not known what you're doing, I would have kind of lost my interest over it. So in no particular order, I would have loved to see times against your roadmap, because you're setting ambitious goals on the robot surgeon, and that is really revolutionary. That's like top level biotech. That would bring you substantial attention from all sorts of venture capitalists, because the cost savings and everything is just astronomical, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
if you can put a timeline against it, even if it's 10 years out, I don't care. I want to see when they're going to get there. So that's one thing. As far as the tail end, you're raising Series A. How much are you raising?
We're raising about $10 million.
Okay, yeah, verbalize that. Let us know.
Okay.
Because the end of the whole reason we're here is that one statement. We are raising money. How much money we're raising. Otherwise, it's like, come buy my car, but I'm not going to tell you how much it is. Like, why did I drive to your home to buy your car? You raised 7 million. Let us know who's invested. Give us some high-level investors. Validate what you're working on, right? I have this VC and this investor. That gives you credibility instantly.
Okay.
The most important part for me is I didn't quite understand your business model. Is it purely sales of the unit, or is there more?
So at the beginning, it's going to be purely sales, but we're collecting all the data and training AI to perform auto-diagnostic on the site.
Okay. So position it such that we know that this is your introduction path to the market, purely sales, because most of us don't want to invest in a purely sales company, even if you're selling gold nuggets. We want something that takes the R&D and the engineering content and builds upon it, so you could leverage all that investment in recurring revenue that is basically at 80, 60, 70, 90% profitability. That's important. That's one. The other piece is the thing related to the physician's fee that was spot on. Thank you for helping us understand why they would want to do this. But isn't there other cost savings elements to the whole process?
Oh, yes, of course. The Pillbot is cheaper than normal procedure because it costs only $500, and a usual pill cam is around 800, and a traditional endoscope, it's way more than this. As I described at the beginning, it can go up to 10K.
Okay, so hit us with those numbers. Now we can see what the value proposition to the buyer is or the solution. Are you selling directly to the doctors, or are you selling through service providers, or are you selling through resellers or partners? Teach us. Teach us how that pill is going to get into someone's mouth. There's a path, and you're not selling directly to the doctor, are you?
No. We're selling it through the hospital chain. Our main client is going to be Mayo Clinic at the beginning, thanks to Vivek Kumbari. And we hope to spread this with reseller all around the world.
What margins are you expecting on the first batch of sales?
I think we're expecting around 85% of margin.
Okay, got it. As far as the company goes, given you're in Series A, this is a good time to talk about your forecast over the next 2 or 3 years and your profitability and so forth. Are you going to be positive? Are you going to be in the red in the next 2 years in terms of top line and bottom line?
Oh, I see. Okay. So we're as soon as we're selling, we are in green. While the FDA approve our product, we're gonna be in red.
Okay, got it. So that would have been useful because we get to see where the money is going to go, how you're going to sustain yourself. Will you be, sinking to the bottom in a couple of years and you need a lot more cash, or is it going to be touch and go with some sales? It's helpful to see the financial stability or lack of stability of the company over the next several years. The co-founders. Who wears the pants in the house? Who's the guy decides everything? 3 co-founders is a little busy in the house. So who's the guy?
We are working in consortium. There is no one guy.
So when there's decisions on the company, who decides, or is it a voting system?
Yeah, it is basically a voting system between Tori, Alex, and Chris.
Okay, got it. And not the right forum for it, but at some point would love to see your cap table and how that looks like. With respect to the Series A, how long would that last and what would it achieve?
So the Series A round is basically to put us all the way through FDA, reinforcing the robot that we have right now and bringing it to the market.
And which is how many months, weeks, or years?
It's until the beginning of 2026. And right now we have a burn rate approximately of 350 per month.
Got it. So you have till January 26 if you raise that Series A, which is a year
Correct.
and 2 months. Okay, got it. Now going back to the sexy, this robot that you're building, are you at the minimal size of the machine, or are you gonna miniaturize it further?
So the product that we're gonna put on the market is close to the one you're seeing here, which is not the smallest we could achieve, but it's the safest. Safety is one of the big part in the FDA process to make sure nothing is a problem for the patient.
You'll reach the optimum size for the robot right now. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly, but we could go smaller, and we are going smaller, but it's gonna improve the price, improve like a lot of
Understood. Understood. Thank you on the kicking us out. You and I would love to talk some more. Tell Tori I said hello and tell him to stop going on stage and presenting and get back to the office and get some work done. But thank you for doing this, and we love you guys. You're the best.
Thank you very much.